on 49th Avenue and Boyd Street. So just a couple things we can talk about on the way there, some points we wanted to address with you guys. So we'll kind of work through some of that. First, I'd like to recognize Ryan there with the Occupational Safety Consultants. He's going to be providing the hard hats and the vests. So once we get there, make sure you grab a hard hat and a vest from him. And then we'll get the tour started there. NUCA members have established a strong safety culture. Most of our job sites are among the general public, and so we want our guys to come home safe. We want the general public to be safe. So working in that public right away, the safety is a number one priority for all our members. OSHA, it used to be that they were in the business of training and helping contractors, and now it seems like they're in the business of enforcement. So not to say that we've been forced to do it, but it's something that we're all adapting to. NUCA members have been busy repairing and building infrastructure around the state in response to the floods that we experienced here this spring, and still are experiencing some flooding, in parts of the state. So I know some of our members that are with us today, Valley Corps, had some projects on the Elkhorn River, and we're hopeful that we'll have a video to show you later. We're having some technical difficulties with the video system. So Eric Klein with Klein Electric, he's here with us. He's got one. I'm going to actually ask you to come up here in a little bit, Eric, and kind of describe what you've been doing. And then another member of ours, Horizontal Tunneling and Boring Company. They've been up in Boyd County boring a new water line underneath the Niobrara up there, right? Is that the Niobrara or is that Spencer Dam with Niobrara, right? So the water district up there, they applied for some state revolving fund money to provide the zero interest loan to the water district until the FEMA money could kick in. So that's one way we always come out to DC, Congressman Bacon, and we always advocate for the SRF funding and the clean water funding and stuff like that. So that's a good example of how that was put to use here in the state. So that the Drinking Water State Revolving Fund provides financial assistance to the water systems and states to fund the drinking water and wastewater infrastructure projects. The federal state revolving funds are revolving loan funds used by the states, utilized to repay the states that utilize repaid loans to finance these new projects, and they require a 20% match of the federal funds. The SRF program funds maximize infrastructure investment, so that's why it's a good program. And obviously, we always advocate to get money put towards it, and it's always less than what we'd like, and it's all about prioritization. So I guess with that, Eric, would you want to come up here and kind of explain some of the projects you've been doing as far as flood recovery type stuff?
Well, thanks for leaving me so much time, Jesse. That kind of puts the pressure on everybody entertained for a while. But so I guess for congressmen and senators, the directional drilling, if you have just the process, is we set a machine up on one side of the river. Usually comes with 15 or 20 foot rods on it, and we build those rods together. There's a head that is on the front of that machine that emits an electronic signal, and somebody walks over it so that we know our depths and our directions and our telemetry, so we know where everything's at. But some of the projects we worked on have been across the state, out by Scottsbluff and Gary, and then a couple here by Omaha. The Elkhorn River washed out on West Dodge Street, and we had to put new fiber lines under that. And then we also bored the Platte River over by Utan, where some lines had washed out. But a lot of the problem we were finding with those, they're projects that probably could have been done earlier, but the Army Corps held up those projects just waiting on paperwork. So there's a lot of people that were out of communication and 911 systems that were down for quite some time waiting for all that. But it opened a lot of eyes. It's expedited a lot of other projects in our areas too, up in the northeastern part of the state. The power companies, a lot of them have figured out that they need to be more aggressive with fixing all their utilities, but they're also hurting for money, and they're trying to figure out how the state can help provide them with no interest loans or low interest loans. I guess for that, Jesse, if you...
Thanks, Eric. Brad, you guys experienced some flooding this year in Kearney, Nebraska. You got anything there that we can talk about, or anything of interest?
Get to your job site now.
Yeah, I mean, Kearney's flooding was a little bit of a interesting deal, and then we had 8 inches of rain fall in about a 30-mile stretch, and it all seemed to fall on the north side of the interstate. And in that area, the Platte River's on the south side of the interstate, so you can imagine the interstate acted as a dam to some effect, and so that's why all the water ended up in the hotel hospitality area of Kearney right there at the interchange. So they went from no water in the parking lot to 6 feet of water in 2.5 hours. It was literally a wall of water. So as far as money goes and funding goes and all that for that kind of work, that's strictly insurance. And of course, there's no flood insurance for those kind of places, limited flood insurance. So I won't go into the sob story on that. But one thing I do want to talk about down there, and Kearney's not the only place, but across the state, the unemployment, we talk about the unemployment rate, and we can keep talking about it, we can beat that horse to death that none of us have enough employees, but I just want the senators and Representative Bacon to understand that the rubber's hit the road now. It's costing revenue. My volume's down because I physically don't have the people to get 80,000 hours of work done a year. So instead of getting my normal 85,000 hours, I'm going to be down to 70. And that's right off the top line of my balance sheet. So I'm not creating revenue, I'm not generating any kind of taxes and that kind of thing.